Wow, ReviewTechUSA got absolutely stomped by Ethan Ralph of the Kill stream last night. It was kind of crazy seeing Ethan Ralph just make fun of ReviewTechUSA, bringing up his shady history, bringing up his love of cocks, meaning like male chickens, roosters, like bringing up the cucumber things, bringing up all the crazy, degenerate things that Rich has done over the years, the big cheese incident, like manipulating people on Discord, the porn he watches. ReviewTechUSA for a long time has been an absolute train wreck of a YouTuber, a train wreck of a human being. And it is very cool to see someone like Ethan Ralph, who is not exactly a winner in the eyes of the internet, like himself, like someone like this, a bona fide loser, agreed by everyone, just stomp all over this guy. Like, ReviewTechUSA is so out of touch with reality. He is so delusional. He is such a poser as a gamer and as a tech reviewer and as like a as a person in general. Like, this guy is getting stomped on by Ethan Ralph of all people. I've gone on record saying that Review Tech USA, like, he covers DSP all the time. Dark Side Phil. I've gone on record saying that like Dark Side Phil is objectively a more successful person than Review Tech USA. He's had a real career. He has a wife. He has a family. He owns a home. Like, he's done all this stuff, right? He's had this very successful YouTube career, right? Compared to Review Tech USA, who's just like getting by based on like, causing clickbait, causing problems for other people, divorce now, probably neglecting his kids, well, actually he is. We've seen video evidence of it. He is neglecting his kids, like doing all this stuff, coming out here, doing like, causing fights with random internet personalities, people like the Quartering, people like Keemstar, people like Stuttering Craig, people like Darkside Phil, people like Ethan Ralph, right? And every single time that Rich tries to look down on someone and like just shit all over them, somehow like the shit gets impacted by like an anti-gravity wave and just flies right back into his face, right? Like his body mass is so high that his shit like kind of orbits around him, like how the planets revolve around the sun. So it just kind of like just comes right back to his fat face, right? That's what happens every single time that Review Tech USA tries coming after someone. When he did a stream on me, he did like an entire stream like talking about like my content and like how I've covered him over the years and the things I've talked about, my opinions about gaming, the Nintendo superiority stuff. Like, he did a stream on that. And you know what? I didn't watch a second of it. You know why? Because I do not care about what ReviewTech USA says at all. That is how lowly I think of his opinion. That is how little I care about him. That is how little I disregard his stance on anything, right? It's not just about Nintendo. It's not just about politics. It's not just about tech. It's not just about like internet personalities. Like, it is essentially everything this man has ever done. It has all resulted in a complete and abject failure. How far can he go? Who exactly out there is worse than Ethan Ralph? Who could come out and make Rich look like a retard more than Ethan Ralph? Like, who could possibly do that, right? Who in the world could come out and just humiliate Rich even further? Now, there is a person out there. There is a man, right? A man who's been let out on the streets, who is just more depraved than Ethan Ralph. Someone with a more tepid history online. Someone that I'm sure could humiliate Rich still further. And that person is Chris Chan, right? The moment that like Chris Chan interacts with ReviewTech USA, whether it's like, through a video feed or like, Rich somehow meets him in person or like there's some kind of interaction there, the instant they cross paths, like Rich is gonna find himself infested by like the Sonichu demon, the very real thing that seems to that seems to permeate around like Chris Chan's aura that like just infests everyone that directly interacts with him. You know, it infected Ethan Ralph, which is how the kill stream died. It infected Nick Rekieta, which is why he's going downhill. And now, maybe someday we'll see it impact Review Tech USA. We will see him just succumb to Sonichu. We will see him have to like deal with the fact that like his life is a complete train wreck and a joke, and just nobody respects him at all. Not his family, not his fans, certainly not his detractors, right? This is, I think, another step further into irrelevancy. Like, we are seeing like a million subscriber channel, you know, like someone who's been around for decades, who was on That Guy with the Glasses, who was on Blistered Thumbs, who worked for Angry Joe, right? Someone with like, who should have like real connections in the industry, who should be a hot shot, who should be doing all this stuff, who should be like a major name in the gaming world, in the tech sphere, in the internet content creation in general. Someone who has like made his million subscribers just making up clickbait, causing drama, negatively covering things incorrect, like misinformation. You know, I remember 10 years ago he made up that debacle with the PSN servers being down for like the PS4 launch, and how like it was negatively affecting graphics, and the Xbox version would be way better looking. Like, I remember that happening. You know, I remember him reporting on like parody articles. I remember him, you know, the Big Cheese incident. I remember like the stuff, and like he's still doing it now. Like, apparently he's getting into like altercations with like Melanie Mack and like Stuttering Craig over like politics things. Like, how many other times can this man get into a fight with like just anybody, right? Like, the fact that he's getting into fights with Ethan Ralph of all people just shows how combative he is, how ridiculous he is, how out of touch with reality he is. Like, anybody who knows who Ethan Ralph is knows that you probably shouldn't interact with him, because he is a complete delusional, like southern just degenerate, right? There is no reason to interact with Ethan Ralph at all. But Rich did it, because that's all he does anymore. All he does is just go out there, make ridiculous content, and try to like make people think, make people believe that he's some like serious YouTube like gaming journalist personality, when in reality he has no idea what he's talking about.